Let us think of education as the means of developing our greatest abilities, because in each of us there is a private hope and dream which, when fulfilled, can be translated into benefit for everyone and greater strength of a nation. This quote, said by John F. Kennedy, stated on the HubPages website, is meaningful and also a great way to view the education system. Going through school is something that everyone has to do and is needed for a majority of the jobs that all of you would like to have. Take a second and think back to grade school, and think of that one teacher who influenced you the most. For me, it was my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Latour. Throughout the years, we've kept in contact, and she is the sole reason to why I want to be an elementary school teacher. Today, I will be covering the requirements needed to obtain a job in the education field and what kind of salaries made throughout the career, along with the hiring rate. First off, I would like to explain what requirements, including schooling, that you will need in order to get the teaching job of your dreams. In 2013, the Missouri State University website reported that the requirements not only to get into the teaching program, but also the requirements to obtain the degree, which in this case is a Bachelor of Science in Education, and this certifies you grades 1 through 6. In order to even be admitted into the program, a student must have a GPA of a 2.75 or higher, and this includes all coursework attempted at all colleges attended and also classes involving your major field of study. Once admitted, you are one step closer to that dream job. The CBASE, or the College Basic Academic Subject Education Test, must also be passed with a minimum of a score of 265 on all sections. These sections include math, social studies, science, and English. A successful completion of the appropriate Praxis 2 Examination Specialty Area Test is also required. General education classes are required too, which is 43 to 51 hours of these. After this is completed, an additional 12 hours is required for your program emphasis or minor, with mine being language arts. Lastly, 62 to 64 hours is needed of professional education, or this is your student teaching. Now that we understand what is needed to be considered for teaching jobs, let's look into the average salary that could potentially be made throughout a career. Also stated on the MSU website in 2013, it claims that the beginning salary for graduates is $34,065 a year. This statistic was derived from all elementary education graduates, with 90% of them being in Missouri. The salary calculator located on the House Fair website was also a great deal of help when trying to figure out the average salary for elementary school teachers. Since I plan on working hopefully in my hometown, which is St. Peters, Missouri, I looked up the approximate pay for in that area. The salary for the 25th percentile is an average of $40,000 a year, and if you're in the 75th percentile, which is more experienced teachers, it's approximately $58,000 a year. Lastly, I'd like to discuss the projected hiring rate for years to come. For the years 2010 to 2020, a projection of job openings is an approximate 573,200 positions, as discussed on the Wages and Employment Trends on the ONET website. This is a 10 to 19% growth in the U.S., so don't lose hope yet. As the speech comes to an end, let's go over briefly what I talked about earlier. In order to obtain any teaching job you would want in the future, a Bachelor of Science in Education is required, which is typically a 4-year degree. The salary of teachers, especially elementary, is not seen as great, but you can stick to it, it will pay off. Don't be too discouraged about not getting a job, because the job outlook seems to continually be increasing. Thank you for your time.